If you are Googling right now, why do I feel so anxious all the time? Why do I feel numb even though my life looks fine? Why can't I just relax and be happy? If you've been typing these kinds of things into Google at maybe 2 a.m. in the morning, then I want you to know, first of all, that you're not alone and that you're not crazy. There is definitely a reason why you feel this way, and it's not because you are just high maintenance or an anxious personality type. I'm Janice Holland, a licensed psychotherapist and certified trauma model therapist. I'm the host of The Trauma Teacher and your bullshit recovery coach. Because let's face it, if you are living your life feeling numb, feeling anxious, wondering what's wrong with you, feeling like you're crazy, that is complete bullshit. And we don't have to live like that anymore. I'm going to give you the tools and resources that you need so that you can begin to relax, feel joy, enjoy your life, enjoy your kids, enjoy your job, and not feel like you are a crazy person running around all over the place, doing all the right things, checking all the right boxes, but for whatever reason, you just can't relax. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about where this is coming from first. It's a hidden pattern that is based in survival. So it is likely that you had an experience or a series of experiences earlier in life where you didn't feel 100% safe. Well, that could be emotionally safe, it could be physically safe, it could be both, it could be spiritually safe. Like there's some element of not feeling protected, not feeling safe. So it makes sense that you would need to, what we call armor up, that you would need to begin to be more hyper vigilant about, am I safe and how do I create safety for myself? And so what that does is it activates your stress response so that you are perpetually in a fight, flight, or freeze state, a freeze mode. Now, fight, flight, or freeze is really good when we are in a traumatic situation where, we were designed to activate fight, flight, and freeze so that we can keep ourselves safe. But it becomes problematic whenever you are living in that way perpetually long term. So basically, the anxiety you're feeling is your system being stuck in overdrive, or the numbness you're feeling is your system is stuck in that freeze response and stuck in the collapse. It doesn't feel like it can release the tension, because if it does, it feels like everything's going to fall apart, right? These are both survival strategies. They're not character flaws in you. This is not your personality. So if you are somebody who is really anxious and high strung and, all those words that people use to describe someone who is in overdrive, a lot of times we can accept that this is part of who we are and say that it's our personality, but I want to encourage you and tell you that it is not. It's absolutely changeable. It's fixable. It's that there's work that needs to be done around creating safety within your body. So how do you get out of this survival mode and into safety? We do it through what I call courageous living courageously. Well, here's the deal. You already have a lot of courage. That's proven by the life that you're living. Only a courageous person will keep moving forward, will take on all the things that you've taken on, can hold down a job, take care of the kids, manage your partnership, keep the house straight, and all the things that you're doing as a woman. You are a courageous woman. You are strong. But what we're going to do is look at how can we use that courage? How can we use that in a strength in a way that is more aligned with nurturing and taking care of your nervous system, creating safety within your body so that you can feel the experience of connection and joy and nurture towards the people that you love, so that you can rest and relax and be at peace, so that you can enjoy this beautiful life that you're building for yourself. What we tend to think and feel is, well, if my kids are happy, if my kids have what they need, if my kids are able to enjoy their life or have the things that they want or that they need, then that's all that I need. Then I'm happy, right? If my partner's happy, like we take on this assumption that if the people around me are happy, then I'm happy. And I really wish that it worked that way. I really wish that actually would be enough, but it's just not. It is. I'm not saying that it's just not because we're selfish and we want it too. I mean, of course, that's part of it. Of course, we want it. But if you aren't creating safety within your body, if you aren't allowing yourself the experience of being relaxed, of joy and pleasure, then you you are not only robbing yourself and your nervous system of the gift of operating as it was designed to operate, but you aren't able to really fully give all of yourself in the most connecting way to the people that you love, to your children, to your partner, to your friendships, to your career. It's hijacked. It's survival. It's strategy based. It's survival based. It's manipulative in nature. So what we're going to do today is go into how do I get out of this survival mode and into freedom and into relaxation and into a state where I'm able to feel and receive the life that I have built. It's a inability to be in receivership, because a receiving posture is a posture that we're not in control. We can't control the energy if we are relaxed and enjoying what's happening. So if you have an afternoon where you're just home with your kids and yeah, maybe the house is a little bit messy or whatever, and you just can't relax. You have to go and you have to be cleaning the dishes. You have to be planning something or working out, or like you can't let yourself just be. That's an indicator that your nervous system is hijacked and it's activated and it's trying to um, coerce a sense of safety by controlling the environment around you, rather than just being able to relax and be present. Because when I am relaxed and I'm present, I'm not in control. I can't predict what's going to happen. Okay, so what we want to do is live from a regulated, resourced place. It's not only possible for you to feel safe in your skin, but it's this process of normalizing pleasure, of normalizing ease, of normalizing rest. What do we tend to think of when we hear those words? We tend to think of, first of all, when we hear the word pleasure, a lot of people think inappropriate thoughts, right? We look at the word pleasure and we think that inappropriate things, versus the reality that pleasure is an acceptable word. It's okay for you to feel pleasure and joy. When we think of somebody at ease and at rest, we think of the words like lazy. We think unproductive. We think and so we associate not wanting to be a person who is at ease and at rest, because people who are at ease and at rest are lazy people. Where does that come from? That's not true. Right? We absolutely need pleasure. We need rest. Your body needs the experience of, because that's how you refuel your energy. And when you don't allow yourself to do that, so what is it about giving yourself ease and rest that feels scary to you? What is it about that giving yourself ease and rest that feels like I can't do that? I could never do that. I'm going to challenge that. I'm going to tell you that you are perpetuating your own suffering by choosing to never allow yourself to be at ease and feel rest. Right? Now, remember, I'm no bullshit here. I'm going to shoot straight with you. We are going to get right to the core of it. So yeah, maybe there's some really uncomfortable feelings that come up when you consider allowing yourself to be at ease and at rest. Okay, let's deal with those uncomfortable feelings, because they're not coming from a place of your highest self-actualized self. Right? They're coming from judgment. They're coming from survival, from scrutiny. And those are not things that we want to associate with somebody who's living in true abundance and freedom, and somebody who's really courageously taking on her life and living it in the most powerful and productive way. All right. So I want to challenge you to take on allowing yourself to feel ease and rest. And here's the kicker: allowing other people to see you be at ease and at rest. What we want to do is like, no, I need everyone to see that I'm really productive. I need everyone to see that I work really hard. I need everyone to see that I'm the first one in the office and the last one to leave. I need everyone to see, like, what is that actually really about? That's performative strength. An actually really strong woman knows who she is, knows what she has to offer. When she shows up for work, she gives it 110%. She is all in, but she doesn't need to prove who she is by staying late, by coming early, by saying yes all the time, not having boundaries. That's not a strong woman. That's a woman who's stressed out, who's overwhelmed, who's working in survival mode, trying to prove her worth and who she is. She's frazzled. She's not so connected to her children because she's short-tempered with them. She doesn't want to have sex with her husband because she feels like she doesn't have time and she doesn't want to get in her feelings and her emotions. That's not a strong, powerful woman. A strong, powerful, centered woman confidently shows up for work, gives her all, has incredibly inspirational, creative ideas, implements those ideas. She can move and be playful with her children. She can have incredible sex with her husband, and none of it stresses her out and overwhelms her because she knows the value of who she is, and she's living a life with a regulated nervous system. She's not living a life in survival mode trying to prove who she is. And I would argue that most people I know don't know anything about not living in survival mode. It's quite sad, actually. But that's what this courageous living movement is all about, is shifting out of that space and into a space where we confidently know who we are. We're willing to deal with what it is that got us in survival mode. And we're not going to give a shit anymore if there's a coworker, a colleague, a spouse, a child who has a strong opinion about the fact that we are real people who need or who are multidimensional. And we have days and times where we need rest and we need play and we need comfort and we need love and connection. And then there's other times where we want to hustle and we want to work hard and prove and see what we're capable of accomplishing. But it's out of a desire to, of inspiration, not out of a desire to prove our worth. So you can be doing the exact same thing, and all we do is shift the motivation with which you're doing it, and your life completely changes. Because I understand if, you're listening to this and you're like, Janice, there's no plate I can't stop spinning. I have to take care of my kids. They need me. I can't quit my job. My partner needs me and all that. Of course, I understand. I'm not asking you to drop any plates, although if there's some that you've picked up just because you feel guilt and shame for not doing them or for doing them, then yeah, let's talk about it, right? But for the most part, there's probably not any or very many plates that you can drop. I get that. So now what we're going to do is shift the motivation with which you are approaching life, and it will change everything about you. It will change everything about the way you feel in life. And this is where that numbness comes from, that inability to actually really connect with what you're doing, because you're doing it from proving energy to prove your worth. You yourself are still hidden inside. You don't feel safe enough for somebody to actually see you and connect to you, because often we're worried we're going to be rejected. We're worried if they actually see the true, real us, it feels too vulnerable. It feels scary. It feels like they're not going to like us, that we're not going to be accepted in the group. And that comes from very real pain that we've experienced early in life. So there's so much compassion and grace for why we've built this self-protective shell around us, but we don't need it anymore. So what I want to do is give you some really clear signs. First of all, let's look at signs that you are stuck. So if you're saying yes when you mean no, then you are stuck. If you are needing to earn rest, like I'm going to do this, this, and this so that I can have a nap, or so that I can have a cookie, or so that I can go to the park with my kids, or so you can't let yourself just enjoy something. You have to earn what you're going to do. That's a sign that you're stuck. If you are striving for perfection, if you can't handle the thought of your house not looking perfect, or maybe it doesn't have to look perfect when it's just the family there, but like nobody is allowed to come over if everything isn't completely clean and perfect. That's a sign that you're stuck. You are stuck in this space of needing to prove your worth. It's survival mode in action. Versus living in alignment and truth means you're free to hold boundaries with peace. Like, yeah, if somebody at work asks you to do something and you have capacity to do it, feel free to say, yeah, of course I can handle that. But if you just know that you don't have capacity, you can say no in a very kind way, but it's firm. It makes me think of Brene Brown's quote, like, clear is kind. You're very clear. No, I can't do that. But you're not going to apologize for not being able to do that. You're not feeling guilt or shame for not being able to do that. You're just like, no, I can't do that right now. Thank you for asking. Feel free to ask next week, or, whatever it is, however you want to say it, but you're able to set a boundary because you know what your capacity is, and you know that if you overextend yourself, that the domino effect of that is going to be fallout for not just you, but everyone in your life. A strong, confident woman knows what her capacity is, and she's doesn't have any shame or guilt of not operating beyond that capacity. And when she is in her full capacity, then she is reliable, then she is consistent, then she is a safe harbor for the people who need her and who love her and whom she loves. All right. So we don't need to earn rest. We just know when our body says, I need to rest, we rest. And we don't feel guilty about it. And if our kids have a day off from school and we just want to play with them, then we play, right? But being in playfulness, your willingness and ability to be in play is such a strong indicator of whether or not you are able to step out of survival mode. So if you're like, I don't like playing. I don't, and it doesn't have to be like, there's a lot of things that, like, I really don't like video games. I have two boys. I just don't like video games. It's never been my thing. So that's not a way in which I played with them. But it wasn't like their survival mode thing. It was just like, I just don't personally love it. But I had other ways that I could hang out with them and play with them and connect with them. Right. So finding whatever play looks like for you, whether it's watching movies, baking cookies, building Legos, Barbie dolls, going to the park, whatever your version of play is, can you let yourself just be in that playful state? And if your answer is like, no, that I'm uncomfortable, I can't imagine that, I would feel too guilty, I don't even know how to do that, this is a huge indicator that you are stuck in survival mode. That is not your personality. That is survival mode. That means you've had enough life experiences where being in a relaxed state didn't feel safe. It felt unpredictable because you can't be, that state is unpredictable. You can't predict what's going to happen. It is vulnerable because you're relaxed. You're not guarded, right? So there's no judgment for sure or shame that you can't do that. But it's like, okay, that is my marker, my indicator to know I am stuck in survival mode and I have some work to do to create safety within my body. Okay, so now maybe you've identified, okay, Janice, I get it. I am very much in survival mode all the time, and I need to understand how to get out of this. Like, I'm in it. I'm in the middle of it, and I don't even see a way out. You're telling me I need to create safety in my body. What the hell does that mean? How do I do that? Okay, so we're going to break it down. First of all, I'm going to tell you that change is uncomfortable. So step one is using the courage you have and the courage that you have implemented in all these different ways to build this life that you have. And I want you to now use that courage to allow yourself to start getting uncomfortable. And what I mean by that is when you start to implement some of the things that I'm about to tell you, it's going to feel dumb. It's going to feel stupid. It's going to feel like this is a waste of time. This isn't really doing anything. It's not getting anywhere. It's uncomfortable. All right. But change, that's just the way it is. I mean, I use this analogy with my clients all the time. Remember when you started driving a car? It was really uncomfortable when you first started driving, but we were motivated because we so desperately wanted to be able to go out on our own without our parents, right? So we were willing to get through the discomfort of driving until it was comfortable. Right. And now we get in our car and turn it on and go. We don't even think about it. It's like second nature. So this is the same process of allowing yourself to get uncomfortable so that you can create some of this change. So number one, that's number one, is getting uncomfortable. Number two, I want you to reframe rest as resourcing. Rest is allowing you to resource your energy and your body so that you can get to the things that need to be done. So whatever rest looks like, whether that's taking a day off work, whether that's giving yourself 10 minutes in the car to listen to a really funny podcast or take a little cat nap or whatever before you drive to the daycare and pick up your kids, or before you show up at the baseball game to watch your kid play, or before you drive to the grocery store to get what you need for dinner tonight, or whatever it is you're going to do, giving yourself 10 minutes at the end of, in that transition period between work and family, or whenever you have those moments. I understand if you can't take a day off work every week. I understand if you can't take a day off work at all. I understand if you there's so much we're doing, but we can intentionally build moments of rest when we really want to, and when we understand why it's so important. Because when you don't allow yourself to rest, your nervous system is in survival mode. It stays activated, and you can't feel your life. You might be doing all the right things, but when you can't feel it, what's the freaking point? So allow yourself, and think of rest as resourcing. You're reallocating resources to yourself when you give yourself the gift of rest. And it's not just for you, it's for also the people who are under you, who you are nurturing and taking care of, and whether that's your team at work that you lead, or it's your children, or whatever it is. Okay, so practicing micro moments of joy. Again, this is an intention thing. I have 5 minutes of work, and I'm going to walk to the break room and make myself my favorite tea, or make myself my favorite coffee, instead of just unconsciously doing that and scrolling on social media while you're doing it, or bitching at your although, to be fair, bitching sometimes is definitely micro moments of joy. So I'm not going to take that away from you. But I'm just saying, being intentional about putting your AirPods in, listening to your favorite song while you're making that coffee, or taking an extra lap around, go outside and feel some sun on your skin, or whatever it is. Practicing those micro moments of joy is you loving on yourself, is you recalibrating your system, is you coming back into your body, bringing your stress level from here down to here. If you're numb, you actually need to come back into life, step back into beingness. That means you're in what we call hypoarousal, which is it's too low, so you need to wake up and activate your system. And you can do that by drinking something really delicious and tasteful. You can do that by listening to a funny podcast and laughing, or watching some little animal memes, and how cute they are. Just get into the feels in your body. Have a quick conversation with your partner to hear their voice. Go outside, feel sun on your skin. All these things kind of get you more activated and in your body. Whereas if you're in that hyperarousal, you're more activated, you need to come back down. So just understanding what you need and practicing micro moments of joy so that you can recalibrate your system and actually feel your life and be present in your life. And then if you're struggling with choices and what to say yes to and when to say yes, I want you to consider, this is number 3, actually number 4, because practicing micro moments of joy was number 3. Number 4, does this choice feel expansive or contracting? And the reason this question is so helpful and so important is it trains you to reconnect with your body. When we are in consistent stress, and when we've experienced a lot of trauma, then our brain and our bodies stop talking to each other. They stop communicating. It's part of the survival. So listening to yourself and saying and asking yourself, does this feel expansive or contracting, actually helps you realign, because you're checking in with your body. Is me saying yes to this feel like I am not being kind to myself, like I'm being taken advantage of? Or does this feel really good? Does it feel, even if it's a challenge, right? It's oh, I want to take on that challenge. I want to do that. That expands me, versus another challenge might be everything in me doesn't want to do it, but I feel like I have to. Learning how to say no to those moments, or at least learning how to have conversations. I get it. Maybe you're in a work environment where saying no to your boss would really cause a lot of issues. Okay, so maybe you can't just say flat no, but you also don't have to say flat yes. You can also hey, let's have a conversation, and allowing yourself to begin to put more words and energy and language around your needs and your perspective and your experience is what a courageous woman would do. because that is the woman who knows her worth, who values what she has to offer to the world, who wants to be able to offer her very best, and knows that the only way to be able to do that is to stay in a very loving, expansive space within her where she's calm and calibrated. Okay, so what I want you to do is, if you are Googling solutions to why you feel so numb and anxious and stressed out all the time, this is just an indicator that you are in survival mode, and it's time to begin to recalibrate and to do the work to live differently. All right. I hope this has been helpful. If you've liked it, please hit subscribe so that I know what kind of content connects best with you. If you have more questions, please put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them in a future video. And I've got lots of resources in the description box as well. If you feel like you really need more support with this, I've got 3 levels of support available to you. So check that out, and I'll see you next time.